I'm editing that out.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I could leave it in because that's me.
Yeah.
Hello.
Happy Monday or Tuesday or whatever.
Happy Monday. Hello and welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
I'm the quiet sister. I know I've said
Sorry.
it before, but no, it's fine. It's just funny because it's
not quiet.
Not her. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in sunny and maybe gonna be toasty Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there.
What is the weather? She's my weather guru.
It's gonna get hot. We're gonna
I will not be wearing this much longer.
We're gonna kiss 80 degrees today.
I don't want to kiss 80 degrees. That's ew. That's slimy.
By the end of the week, it's gonna be like kissing almost 90.
My sister had that weather in Illinois last week. It's coming here.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes 50 degrees this morning feel cold.
Good thing my mini splits in their at least cool function for right now just runs continuously because I'm gonna need it later. Although this will be a test if it's just pulling in cool air from outside or if it's actually cooling the air. Anyway, so we haven't had a I'm distracted. We haven't had a Tuesday filming in a while.
That's not a thing.
It's not a thing.
No, we haven't. Like 2 weeks.
Yeah, and this one has to unfortunately be a little on the short side, like maybe half an hour because life.
Are we surprised?
Okay. So there's so much though to fill you in on because so much has been happening since we filmed or filmed for any decent length of time. I actually got stuff done this weekend. So did you, right?
I sort of, not like
she says sort of,
not like knitting done.
Yeah, that's not the only thing that exists in the world though.
You're a yarn shop.
Yes, but I'm the boss.
Kind of what
you can do what you want on the. You're still being creative. What did you do this weekend?
I finished 6 dresses.
Why did you switch from made to finished? Like why is that significantly important to you?
Because I had a bunch of dresses cut out. And Sunday I pinned 5 of the 6 because there was one left over from
and she says she
yarn
didn't
crawl.
Do anything this weekend.
And then Monday I serged, top stitched and shoulder strapped 6 dresses.
She did things this weekend. Would you like to show off this?
And even got a stripe.
You're making a lot of progress from what they've seen on that, right?
Dress number 1.
Ta-da! Stay tuned because we only film 3 days a week and she has 5 new dresses. So maybe I'll have
6,
to.
So one's going to carry over into next week.
Excuse me.
I was like, ooh, I have one for next week.
Maybe,
and I have new dresses from Yarn Crawl that I can.
Maybe if you are amenable to this 10th grade vocabulary, when I taught 10th grade English, we can at some point, if we remember, probably not going to remember, take pictures and put them in end credits or something of dresses that you won't see because we're not filming on those days. Let us know in the comments. So yeah, and so okay, we have so much to possibly talk about.
And by we mean she.
Well, I want to make sure I don't give her time to talk about her stuff too. I was thinking we as in the shop, as in we're getting ready for a sock knit along, which so many people are excited about. It's kind of freaking me out. Yeah. But we might be able to talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah, because
the context of the VSC.
Yeah.
Because we can both put some sock yarn on sale and explain why we don't have as much as we want.
True.
There's stories.
Lots.
Thank you for being my color woman. Throwing in the commentary there to make it all. Not that we're a baseball.
In case we're entertaining it all, you can come by the shop and experience this all day long.
I think that's partially why our subscriber numbers are going up, is that we had a lot of people in the shop for Yarn Crawl
who got to experience
it in person, and they just can't live without us. Now, I'm kidding. But they're signing, hopefully they're signing up to watch us all the time. Yay. So what is that? What are you knitting?
This
Show
so
stuff before I monopolize.
yeah. So this is the winter sailor sweater. It's supposed to be like one color with these little stripes going through the torso, and I'm gonna lose interest. So
She has like mathematical formulas that she won't call mathematical formulas to her stripe process.
so this is
It's cute.
I am starting repeat number 3. So the blue is third blue.
Oh, you're actually repeating them in a
I'm
certain order.
repeating
Look at
them in
that.
order. They're all
Judy.
different widths. And
Yes, but the colors are going in the.
except for yellow and orange. Yellow and orange will only ever be 2
I
stripes.
told you there was a rhyme and reason of some kind to this. And I shake my head, but I think it's genius. So, you know, I'm just scoffing because that's what we do.
Yeah.
But I mean, anything you choose to do with your knitting and crocheting is genius. Yay.
I started it during the yarn crawl.
Uh-huh. So she's made very good progress.
What precious few moments of time we had. I didn't get very far, and then
Makes me think of yesterday. I did
But
not knit anything yesterday.
I got to past sleeve separation, and now I'm probably a good 3 or 4 inches past sleeve separation. You have your
I have my wrist ruler. We sell these. Ah, okay. Let's find out. Try not to stretch too far. You're almost to 5 inches.
Wow.
If I stretched, she would have been at 5, but we don't want to over, you know.
Burney's kind of tall.
That was an
so
example. Just keep going.
I'll be going forever.
That was an example of how you don't want to measure if you want something accurate. You want to lay it on a table and not pull too hard, because you don't know how being in midair is going to affect things. So I put this out when I came in, when I ran in yesterday, so I remember to talk about it in just a second. So what else do you want to show off?
Saturday night, I got the red done, and now I am winging my way through the second gray.
So that's the edging of the hap shawl, and it's super jammed on there, which means it's really hard to show the final product. Like when you finish, we're going to hold it up and people are going to go, because it's amazing. Right?
It'll go gray. There'll be another row of red, and then another light gray, and then it goes all the way back through the colors. And then I have to do an applied lace.
You have to?
Well,
you want to.
It's in the pattern, so I might as well. Because
when has that ever stopped you from doing whatever you want? Come on.
So I started a half a hat.
And what does that mean?
So a full hap is the big square that you fold in half, and a half a hap is just a triangle shawl.
It's like you do the increase, but you don't do the decrease part.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the beginning of that, and I will pull out my phone in a second and tell what the name of the pattern is, but you build your you build your triangle to 160 stitches across. This one was built to 140 across before I started the decreases. So
that's gonna be wider.
This is going to be
in theory?
bigger.
Okay.
Just half a half. And then it'll have a couple sets of lace added, and it's not feather and fan this time, so it's a whole new pattern.
Oh, that's the other one.
Yeah, this one's feather and fan, and this one isn't. But
and this one isn't. Just
so
very descriptive, Liz.
I was like, what am I gonna do? Oh, look, a half. Yay. So the pattern's written for like a size 6 needle, and let's be honest, that's not me. So once again, I'm doing it on a 10.5. And if I run out of yarn, which I might, I'm going to trim it in white.
Okay.
Because I
think white would be cute.
I have 200 grams of the blue at 800 yards per ball, but I think I'm going to run out. Well,
blue?
Yeah.
I might have extra blue from things I'll never finish.
No, this is different. This is not from our shop. So, but It's
have
okay
something.
because I happen to have stockpiled some white Mayu lace that will look really pretty as an edging on the blue. So
Mhm. I'm getting my stuff ready while you're talking and realizing I have so many things.
I'm shocked and slightly surprised.
I wanted to try on all my sweaters. We'll see if we have time to see what I have. Okay. Half of what I have pulled out here is not a sweater. I mean, most of what's here is not a sweater, but then I have a bunch of sweaters that are on like with top down on the torso section. And I'd love to check and see how far they are along and if they're ready for, I mean, most of them are not ready for the bottom part, but you know, but don't you want to see me try on all my sweaters? Although I gotta say, I have 1, 2, 3, maybe only 3 sweaters at home that I left at home. I didn't even bring in because they're not try-onable in that way. So, something allergies. I don't even know. This is what happens when it gets warm. So okay. So let's start with the non-sweater things.
Okay.
I think the last time we saw y'all in any meaningful fashion, I wanted to make something out of a skein of the Degrade, the color changing Cumulus. Like this is Cumulus Rainbow. This is Cumulus Rainbow Degrade. Fancy word for gradient. I mean, just probably a different language word for gradient, right?
French.
I mean, it's French. I don't know if Degrade actually translates to gradient. Someone who speaks French can chastise me in the comments. I took high school French. That was a very long time ago. I can use Google. I know. So one whole skein. This is the, oh my gosh, I'm going to forget now. It's like the High Street Road Cowl. And apologies if I butchered the name of it. I will either try to put a caption right here. That's what I did in my tips and tricks video this week. Or regardless, we're going to put the link for this in the description. And the woman who wrote this pattern, who's a Holli, has bought some yarn to make her own. I mean, it's just so soft. But the thing about the Cumulus, it's soft, but it's warm. But it's warm without being the fuzzy, heavy warm. So it's great for like chilly summer nights, that kind of thing. And I have this much left. Do we know where any of our scales are?
I will go hunt one down.
I have this much left because the pattern said, it's got this really cool, I'm going to put it up close to the camera. Ta-da. It's almost herringbone, but it's not. It's a really cool technique to make texture on it. And it said to go to 9 inches and then start the top edging. And I wanted to show off, I think I went to like closer to 11 because I wanted to show off all the different colors in it. So I still had this much left when I finished this. Longer, but I didn't want to, I mean, you can use up the whole thing if you want to. I didn't want to play yarn chicken at the end. And what's neat, it is a gradient, but it's almost like if you do it solid like this, you can see where the color shifts. I see 4 distinct colors in this, but it's still a gradient. I mean, it's really hard to have a gradient that just fades and doesn't do anything else but slowly fade throughout the whole entire thing.
Those you kind of have to do the hand dye and they're super,
and then
super
unravel
crazy.
And then, oh yeah. So, okay, how much of this do we have left? This
11 grams.
11 grams. So of 100 grams. So I could have made it a little taller or I could have started with the dark and had more of the dark and gone to the light, but I wanted to have, not that this has to be right side up. I wanted to have the dark around my face. I always have issues with straight cowls and that they wibble wobble at the top, but I still think that looks really cool. So
I want to say one of our knitters, shout out to Amy, she used the whole ball.
Did she go until she was done? And she probably got it a little bit longer. So I could wear it this way, or I could wear it this way. But since I'm pale, see, look, that's like, it's lighter than me, but I'm like right in there somewhere, but I didn't want to wash out my face too much. But I think this is super cute. Now that I've done that, I think I could actually cut this and sew the ends. I haven't done that yet, but
she was saving it for y'all.
Yeah, because we had to not lose this. And if it's attached, then we don't lose it, to tell you how much I had left. Okay. So if you decided to make it shorter, the following the pattern instructions, you would have more of this yarn left. Does not take a whole skein. All right. So Next, my Casa Pinka local yarn store day, the Rick Rack, I have not made any progress on, so I'm not showing it to you today because it looks the same as it probably did last time I showed it to you. And if you think I didn't show it to you, tell me in the comments and I'll bring it back in. I'd like to finish it, but there's so many things I'm working on. This is the Cascade. Look at, oh, if I hold it up in front of me, you can see that pattern, right?
Oh yeah.
This is the Cascade version of a local yarn store day wrap. And local yarn store day was April 30th. And woo! So much yarn fuzz. I had to sneeze. Okay.
It does not transfer as bright as it actually is.
And when I color edit, maybe y'all will see it. I'll put it closer to the camera. It's a really bright blue. And I'm on my second skein. It's supposed to be 3 skeins long. And I'm going to aggressively block this. I just did a video on blocking the Ranunculus sweater, and I advised not aggressively blocking it. And blocking period is your choice, but not aggressively blocking it unless you want it to be super oversized. For wraps and shawls, oversized is awesome because then they wrap around you better. Woo! So this one's fun and repetitive and kind of looks like cables with lace, because it looks like the thing keeps going like this, you know. Anyway, this morning I pulled this one because I didn't knit a gosh darn thing yesterday to have any progress to show anybody.
You only had the busiest day ever.
No, I've had busier, but it was busy. But I had Ingles and therapy and grabbing stuff from the shop for filming and newsletter writing and trying to make a survey for when we go back to outdoor events, what people are interested in, and a yarn crawl meeting and writing up yarn crawl meeting notes. And yeah, I finished my newsletter at like 9:30 last night. So I took a break for lunch and dinner. So this is my ZickZack that I'm making out of 2 different color changing Perth yarns. And I've only made it a little bit further, but I'm getting to the hot pink in there. I can't wait to like see more colors. There's some purple in there. There's spots where I think these 2 are going to be like muted and you can't tell that there's 2 yarns going on. And that's okay. I'm going to let that happen. Of course, in the midst of having too much going on, I started a new project.
We're shocked.
Didn't you start a new project? That was your half app?
That was my half app.
Okay.
I keep wanting to start another new project. I just haven't figured it out yet.
I have wanted to start this one. Well, just you get on it. Okay. I wanted to start this one since the new colors of Ito came in. I made a crocheted cowl out of one of the bright ones. And this one, I was like, I want to do that Entrelac scarf that's been around since 2017. There's other Entrelac stuff out there, but this is a classic. And I actually think this width is really nice. I was worried it would be too thin when I started. Sure? Stop it. Don't you think this is okay, Liz?
It's perfect.
Thank you. So 1 ball of Ito should be enough because it was written for 4 skeins of Silk Garden, which is a light worsted weight, which 4 skeins, it's 50 grams. So 4 skeins is 200 grams. This is 200 grams. And the Ito color changes. I mean, look at that. I'm actually already right here is where the repeat started over again from the bottom. So the colors are repeating again, but Entrelac is really cool because it looks like you have woven strips of knitting, but you're doing it continuously by picking up and decreasing stitches in these little windows and making rectangles and triangles that lean in different directions. And we had the, ooh, let's do that as a knit along. I will do it maybe as a class. And, you know, but I don't think our next knit along is socks. And I haven't thought beyond that. So, but I'm really excited that I started this because isn't this cute?
I like it. And Entrelac is one of those things that you do kind of have to block to make it look.
Yeah, I talked about that in the video. I was like, the pattern says if you want to block, et cetera, but it's going to be puffy. And almost look like those little kind of like the hexagon beekeeper quilty things, yeah. But it's only one-sided. So it's got if you don't block it, it's gonna look a little poofy funky. I'm looking forward to blocking it when I'm done. I have 145 grams left. I've used about just over 50 grams so far. So this is 1/4, in theory, this is 1/4 of what I'm gonna end up with. So that's gonna be a nice long scarf, I think. So, okay. This might be one of the in-person classes that we do, because I haven't done Zoom classes in a really long time. And I'd have to give some serious thought if y'all from far away would want to do a Zoom class. I'd have to think about how to make, there's a lot of things I'm thinking about how to make functional now that we're moving into new phases of COVID stuff. So of trying to function with COVID. All right. I think those are all the non-sweater things I made some progress on since we really updated you all on projects, right? One of the days of break, I spent knitting on my lace ranunculus and felt like it was not ever getting longer. So my lace ranunculus, here's where I am right now. I think it's a little longer, but I don't think it's long enough to be finishing it, anytime soon. Let me see if I have, oh no, don't have the longer barber cord in here. I got a brown one in here. I want to save that for my other guy. Oh, maybe I can use, that's a short one.
I
Problems,
took a long
Liz?
one and cut it in half because I needed the short one.
Sacrilege, but it's okay. Once you buy them, do whatever you want.
No, it just means I have to buy another set of barber cords. I have like 2 or 3 sets floating around.
My fuchsia
couldn't
long
find-
one is probably in my basket over there. And, so I have this one and I have my Avena. And I don't think you guys have seen at all my diamonds cardigan that I'm making.
No, because you just started that.
I just started
about the
ripping that
same
out.
time
Yeah.
I
Ripping out
was-
the old project.
I was doing this one.
Uh-huh. So I could tell you a story about that one while I'm getting this onto barber cords. So when Jody Long Coastline came in, which is a pretty awesome cotton, linen, viscose, funky stuff blend. It's got great stitch definition. It's worsted weight. I decided I was going to make one of the most popular designs in the little pattern book that he gave along with the yarn. I was going to do that out of a different color because he did it in seafoam green and it was so pretty, but I was going to do it in a different green that I liked, and it's called Seaweed. And I had gotten, it kind of looks a little like The Weekend, right? By Andrea Mowry, but not quite. And I had gotten to a certain point in it, and then it just sat here in the shop. And it was a really great example if you wanted to squish the yarn and see what it felt like, because it's much squishier when it's much squishier knit up than it feels in the ball. So it was a great example. But I realized I was never going to finish it. And I was ruminating with people here on the plaza the other day about, wouldn't it be nice to have a summer cardigan, but not super lightweight because it gets super breezy out there. Like I need layers when I'm out there and the wind starts blowing. But losing my train of thought. Wouldn't it be nice to have a cardigan that would keep me warm, but was appropriate for the breezy plaza, but was not like, if I made it out of wool or something, there's something about warm breezes, like warm temperatures, but windy and chilly, that something like, I have my Easy Eyelet yoke cardigan, but it's a fuzzy wool, and that just clings and feels itchy. Not itchy, that's not the right word. It just feels extra hot and fuzzy in the summertime. So the Coastline, I decided, was going to be the perfect yarn to be thicker and warmer, but since it's cotton, it breathes a little better for the summertime. So I started making, and I'm going to show it to y'all before we sign off today. I started making a cardigan with it. And I'm pretty far along now, and it's looking lovely. At least I'm past sleeve separation. And someone asked what the color was. And so I went to go look up the color on the manufacturer's website, and they have stopped making that color. I have, I'll try it on next just so we can like have some kind of segue. I have the uncanny knack of picking a color or a whole yarn to make something that will no longer be available. And what the heck? Oh, this is longer than the last time. Squirrel. I put the whole thing onto the barber cords just to make sure I wasn't going to lose any stitches.
Because that one you don't want to lose stitches.
This one with the lace, I don't want to lose stitches. But that's nice. I'm going to make it longer. I still have plenty of yarn left of my second skein. I'm going to make it longer, but this is looking nice now. Look at this. Ta-da. Ooh, it's a little up in the back, but that's okay.
I like it.
I like it. If I do the number of inches of, I think it's 2 or 3, it'll probably come down to my t-shirt, but I think I want it to be a little longer.
Do like another inch or two.
I can actually make progress on this. Yay! Okay, that was the whole point. So that's my lace ranunculus, and a lot of people are still working on their ranunculi over on the Sun Dragon Knit Along page, which is where we will also add in socks. We're just going to keep piling on different things as we go and just keep them. I'm not making separate pages. It's all one big community page. Woo! So let me jump over the Avena. I'll come back to it. I thought I put it out. Where did I put it? Hang on. Ah.
She has so many bags and baskets and
we need to end soon, but I wanted to try on 2 more sweaters. So hang on. This one also, to get a good feel for it, I'm on short enough. This is the diamond cardigan with the color that we only have like 6 skeins left in the shop now. And it's non-repeatable. So let me just see if I can quickly get there. We have so many other lovely colors, and all the new colors of Coastline are pastel, and we haven't brought them in yet. I mean, it's true, the first colors we had weren't pastel, so it will add to the palette when we choose to bring it in. But it's just a challenge, you know?
yeah.
To try to make sure we have colors people want and have enough stock in the shop. All right, so
Because we're almost out of yarn.
I firmly believe that for some yarns, but Liz likes to point out that we still have yarn in the shop.
Lots.
Exhibit A. So this is, you want to straighten it, but just don't, yeah.
Gently.
Gently.
There you go.
Princess Bride.
Oh, that looks cool.
This is the fading, like you're building the edge as you go. So I'm not going to be adding edging to this. That was the issue with my Easy Eyelet Yoke cardigan. My issue, not the patterns issue. When I picked up stitches to do the edging on that one, it ruffled, and it's because I didn't pick up stitches in a correct proportion, and I didn't want to redo it. So this one you're building as you go. And this one, the diamonds are going to see how there's a little more pattern right in there. As I go, there's going to be more pattern. It's going to come down pretty low. I think I need like 8 skeins of this yarn, according to her instructions, to make this. But I am I'm going to be wearing this all the time.
And part of the reason, let's be honest, that you're doing it so fast is because there's interest.
Yes.
Throughout the entire cardigan.
And it gets more interesting the further down the torso you go. And in a lot of other things like the ranunculus, like the Avena, as you go, the torso, there's nothing happening in it. It's just knitting. So for some people, they'll fly through that. And for some people, they'll lose the will to knit. So I suppose I could wait on the other stuff. Let me just hold up my other things that I want to try on and see if they're at the right length yet, because we have to go open the shop. I'm hoping I'm close to being able to do the bottom of this one. This is the Wisp Raglan by Tiff Nealon. And there is, I'll try it on Thursday or next Tuesday. There's a little bit of color work on the cuffs of the sleeves. It's very subtle, although subtle seems to be in right now.
Subtle is the new bold.
It's I know, it's very subtle on there with the colors I chose that I thought would have more contrast, but they don't. But that edging on the sleeves is also on the torso. So I think I need to knit some more before I do it, but I think there's like 5 to 7 inches of color work and edge ribbing. So once I do that, this is done. And this is in the Belviso is a nice summer fabric. So I'm looking forward to actually being able to wear this summer. It's part of why some things have gone into timeout for quite a while. Again, I was hoping to have this be a big, huge try-on-a-palooza, but we need to go open the shop. So my Avina by Jennifer Steingass, I finally got to sleeve separation. And it's gonna look so much better if I can try it on, but I need to put it on barber cords. And we all know that takes a couple minutes for me. Not as long as with actual stitch holders that don't attach to your needles, because that's why we love the barber cords. But the yoke of this is done.
And now it's just straight knitting.
Now it's straight knitting. I'm alternating skeins. So I have one skein here and one skein, let's see, over here. Every time I come to the beginning of the round, I'm alternating skeins so that even though this blush is really muted of a tonal, I don't have any glaring like color shifts when I have to hit a new skein. So I'll try to try this one on for you again Thursday or Tuesday, depending on where Thursday takes us, because we want to start. We have like one question for Dear Becky and Lizzie on Thursday.
So far, yep.
And that one's been waiting for a couple weeks. So we want to do that justice. And then if there's leftover time, we can have more of my try-on-a-palooza. So let's see. Let's go over events and such, Liz. Oh my gosh, I'm getting tangled and they're not even in the same bag. What? So tonight is virtual sit and stitch from 7 to 9 p.m. You can get into Zoom with the shop phone number
828-877-3550.
and that is 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern time, Eastern US Coast time. Tomorrow will be our first VSC in a couple weeks. That Degrade is still 15% off until tomorrow. So if anyone wants to grab some skeins, you can put in product of the week at checkout and still save money on the Degrade. But we'll shift that tomorrow. We'll probably shift that to a couple of sock yarns since we're getting ready for our sock knit along. And I'll talk more about that tomorrow. Thursday is Dear Becky and Lizzie. If you would like to add to the questions we are ruminating and talking about and philosophizing on, email
Liz@sundragonartandfiber.com.
Okay. And then another sit and stitch on Friday night from 7 to 9 p.m. I'm starting to try to figure out if we're going to start doing any in-person sit and stitch, which would be outside, not inside, but that might affect virtual sit and stitch. I've put together, there's like one question for faraway knitters or local and faraway knitters about Zoom. The rest of it's more about in-person stuff here. But I have a Google form that if I remember, I'll put in the description and just yell at me in the comments if I forget. So, we needed to open the shop about 5 minutes ago. So we love y'all, but, and it's really quiet out. So I don't think anyone is like banging on the door saying,
Sunday.
Oh, yes.
Heads up.
Yes. We're finally going to have one of our Sunday afternoon dual platform sit and stitches. We didn't do one last month because life was just insane. So the 22nd from 1 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can tune in on Facebook Live or on Zoom with that shop phone number again and hang out with us. And we can just, it's not necessarily like we only talk about knitting and crocheting. We just hang out and have life. But we are crafting in each other's company. And even if you're sitting there not crafting, hang out with people who are crafting or love crafting as well. So I want to say like-minded people. We're from all different walks of life. So the one thing we are like-minded about is crafting. And I love that can connect us.
I will probably be dreading my hair.
Well, come on Zoom if you want to see what's going on.
Changing out my hair to a new color.
Yeah, Facebook Live, you only see me. And I will probably be knitting on one of my torsos where I don't have to think very hard about what I'm knitting so I can chat with y'all. But, Anyway, love you. We miss you. Please consider subscribing. I think we just hit 950. We only have
halfway.
50 more subscribers to go to give you another sale. And this is the big one, people. It's 30% off in the online shop and in person if we hit 1,000 subscribers and stick it. 50 people. That's all we need. I feel like it's a PBS drive again, fundraising drive again, So if you haven't considered subscribing in the past, give it a thought. Subscribe, ring the bell, at least give a thumbs up to this video, tell your friends and neighbors, have them subscribe. It's all good. So,
And unlike the last one, we will let it get to like 1,002 or 1,003.
yeah, we had to wait on 900 because we were having the crawl. We couldn't do everything at once. We're still packing up orders and sending them out from the 900 subscriber sale. So it's spiraling, which is wonderful. So yes, we will try to have it as close as we can to actually hitting 1,000 reliably, because it does this sometimes. Anyway, we got to go. Things are quieter after the crawl, so we're not worried that someone is like, why weren't you open at 10:02? But we should go open. So
Yeah.
we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.